Last Sunday, I cautioned against trading the British pound. I explained that if you were doing so, you are gambling and not trading. And if you watch this as the week progressed with the Brexit various bits of news, 300 pip swing up, 300 pip swing down, 350 pip swing high, all over the place. That is why I have left it alone for the last few months, even though it's my favorite pair, and I will continue to leave it. Showed you in the recording on Friday how the trade we took in the live session on the New Zealand dollar Swissy, not a pair I've ever traded before, usually a bit wary with the Swissy, but the main Swissy news is for this week, and that was a very nice trade. Right, on to the week ahead. Euro, said last week 113 was of interest, but the problem for me was I had nowhere to put the stop. Still much more interested if we can get a pullback. 1500 was the range that was going on up to the mid-February, and even higher up would be even better. Intraday, I would consider a short around 114.50. Again though, stop needs to be up here out of the way. Not for me at this moment in time. Aussie USD predictably bounced off 70 last week. I am still interested for a pullback to short. I think this could break 70 eventually, but it needs to have another run at it. And 72 is for multiple reasons. I have the 78.6 fib of the recent move. I have the 200 EMA not too far above for a stop. I have a weekly trend line coming in here as well, and that needs to move fractionally there. So that is the main area for me. Now I know some of you are looking on smaller time frames, and I had somebody this morning saying 71.50, and they've put a trend line in there, so it's a valid area. But again, I want multiple reasons for the stop, and I don't have it. Anywhere from here, then I start to get interested. So this is the area for me. Aussie yen, a lot of the yen pairs were in this pattern the other week. This broke out. Now I was saying last week I wanted a pullback. My preferred pullback on this is all the way back up to 80. I then have multiple reasons for the stop and potential drop back down. Aussie CAD, interested. Main area for me is 95.70. We'll also watch 95.30. So it's this area here, but as you can see, we are range bound at the moment, so you could consider longing at 9300 as well. Dollar yen, week charts telling me absolutely nothing. It can't make its mind up, but we have been stuck in a range, and it is bouncing repeatedly from 111, and it's bouncing back down at 112. So consider longs here. Again, you've got lots of reasons for your stop, and it doesn't have to be very far below. If that fails and it drops, I would definitely long at 110. This is a key area on this pair. As ever, keep your eye on the Nikkei, and last week, the week before last, it tried to break these EMAs. I don't trade this, but notice how the EMAs are as relevant on the stock markets as they are on Forex. It kept bouncing into it, broke through, then it's come back down again. If this goes on a run, you would expect the USD to follow it, as in the USD yen. Now euro yen, this is the one I like probably the most. 127.50, 60 area. Multiple reasons why. If the euro yen comes up here, if it's going to bounce off anywhere and back down again, then that is probably the area. And remember, we are only looking at probability, and we're looking first at probability, second a good place to put the stop, and the third is what is the potential reward for this trade. And my thinking is I could have a 20, 30 or even 40 pip stop for a 200 pip gain. Then clearly that is a very good risk reward. Some more weird and wonderfuls I don't normally trade, but the CAD yen is another one. I know Pierre's been looking at this, I think around 84.50. I've just shown you I prefer the euro yen. Swiss yen, I believe this may have been neater, and this was one of the members the other week called this perfectly in the live training session. And clearly 112 on the Swissy yen is a big area, so watch that one as well. Don't take more than one yen trade at a time unless you half your risk. So if you normally risk 1% on a trade, risk 0.5% on this and 0.5% on one of the others. Don't double up, because if one loses, they will all lose. New Zealand dollar yen, similar scenario, this same pattern, this flag pattern that suggests this could be, in this case, a 700 pip move if it was to break down here. The area of most interest to me is around 7700 to 7740 for a potential short on this pair. And the New Zealand dollar seemed to ignore the terrorist incident on Friday. But tourism is a big part of the New Zealand dollar economy, and there's been other negative news of late, but as ever it just keeps bouncing off 6,800. It is so boring at the moment from a monetary point of view, from a trading point of view. It's bouncing back down from roughly 69 and up from 68. I would prefer it made a break up or a break down, but do something please. USD Singapore dollar, Pierre and I shorted this 3600 the other week, and we showed you in advance why. When price was down here, we looked for the pullback, and we're looking for multiple reasons. We have a daily trend line in place that goes back to October last year. We have the 200 EMA, we have the weekly 55 EMA. I believe I had a fib on here as well, and even if we fib just this small move here, here we go, we have 78.6 fib there. So multiple reasons for the entry, multiple reasons for where to place the stop, and the reward against the risk again would be excellent, because you would only need a small stop, maybe above the recent high of 20 odd pips, and the potential gain down here is 3 or 4 times the risk, and possibly a lot more. CAD, messy. Safest place would be back down here around 31.50. Notice repeatedly on a very simplistic level how it came down here, did it 3 weeks ago as well, and it just bounced off this channel line we've had in place since 2017. So here 31.70, and it's also, you've got this daily 200 here, you've got the trend line, you've got the weekly 55 just below it. So that is the key area for me. Also, if you're trading this intraday, keep your eye around 32.60 area, because it was previous support and resistance. As ever, keep your eye on Brent. And so oil, similarly as we're looking with the yens, we're looking at the Nikkei. Keep your eye on this. I can't decide now really, to be honest, where to put the trend line anymore. Maybe here. But last week it tried to break the EMAs again, and then it's dropped back inside. This was a few weeks ago when Trump tweeted to OPEC, drop the price, boys, and it did. It's stuck here, and again it's gathering momentum. It's either going to break up or break down, or it just could continue doing this for a few more weeks. Once it makes a break, it will give us more clarity as to what to do with the CAD. Final few, this is the New Zealand dollar CAD, and we are interested to short at 9200. This was another one we looked at in the live session on Tuesday, and this one went 125 pips. And as you know, we chose the New Zealand dollar Swissy. Again, looking at a lot of these cross pairs because we're not trading Brexit. And the Euro New Zealand dollar, I'm really interested if it can get up here anywhere around 68.50. I have multiple reasons again. I'm sure if I stick a fib on here, we will have 61.8 fib as well. So there I'm very interested to short. I will also watch down here, but I don't have multiple reasons for the stop. And down here, you're looking at a potential bounce back up. I need to research this a bit further and perhaps put some pivots on once the week starts. But that would be the area for me definitely to short. Okay, if you can make it to the live trading session, then do so, because those who are attending are taking part. They're coming up with some of their own ideas, they're asking questions, and we are sharing with you what we are looking to trade for our clients in real time. Catch you later.